Let's say you have 6 minus 4.973. It is also very simple. This number, remember, is not up to 5. This particular number is not up to 5. It is 4 whole number and a fractional part. 4 whole number and a fractional part is not up to 6. So what do? You make this up to 3 decimal places as well by adding 0. 6.000 minus 4.973. And you know how to subtract. At this level, you know 0 minus 3 is impossible. So you take 1 from here, it will remain 5. Bring the 1 here, it will be 10. Take 1 from here, it will be 9. Bring the 1 here, 10. Take 1 from here, 9. Bring the 1 here, 10. And then you can now subtract. 10 minus 3 will give you 7. 9 minus 7 will be 2. 9 minus 9 is 0. 0.5 minus 4 will give you 1. This will be your answer. So it is nothing that should confuse you at all. What you should do is make sure that before you start, make all the decimal places the same for all the numbers by adding zeros and points where you need to. Now, to division or multiplication first. Multiplication of decimal numbers. To multiplication of decimal numbers. Now, if you are given, it can come in diverse ways. The elementary way is that when you are given a decimal number multiplied by powers of 10. What are the powers of 10? Powers of 10 mean 10, 100, 1000, and so on and so forth. Numbers that have 1 and 0, 0, 0, and 0 at the back. Now, if you are under this, if I give you an example, like 3.4692 multiplied by 100. If you have to multiply this, many of you will go multiplying very good way, and then when you do it, it will waste your time, and then your chances of getting the answer will reduce because you are prone to making mistakes. How do I mean? The analog way is by saying 3.4692 multiplied by 100. And so when you begin to multiply, confusions that will come your way will be number 1. When you start multiplying, where will this point be? Where will I put the point? It is very, very tasking and rigorous. Then another confusion that will come is that by the time you finish multiplying, adding the long chain together may lead to errors or mistakes that will prevent you from getting the correct answer. So what is the digital way of doing this? The shortcut way of doing this. Mathematics is about learning the shortcut way to get into the answer in time. Now, what you do when you are multiplying with powers of 10 is that you move the decimal point to the right hand side. Move the decimal point to the right hand side. Because when you are multiplying, multiplication means increase. Multiplication will lead to increase, and when you move the point to the right hand side, you are increasing. To the right hand side, when you go to the right hand side, you increase. When you go to the left hand side, you are decreasing. So you move the point to the right hand side. How?
This is not 1. It is 2. It can be any other number. I even want to change to 4. Or let me leave it as 3. Or as 2. Let me leave it as 2. Understanding is what is important. Now, this whole number part, this 2, that is the non-zero part, because the whole number is the whole number. Everything is whole number. So, you use this 2 to multiply out everything here first. And then, you now move the point 3 times. How do I mean? 3.4692 multiplied by 2. 2 times 2 will give you 4. This will give you 18. Keep 1. This will give you 12, 13. Also keep 1. This will give you 8. Plus 1, 9. This will give you 6. Now, when you have done this, what you have is 6.9384 multiplied by 1000. Because the 2 has done its work. Now, what do? Now, use this 30 to move the point 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. So, what you have is your answer 6938.4. To multiplication of decimal numbers. It can come in different cases as well. Different kinds of cases. Like we have considered before, multiplying with powers of 10. Now, if you are multiplying decimal number with another decimal number, it is very, very easy as well. These are decimal numbers having points at different places. This is to 2 decimal places, and this is to 3 decimal places. Now, unlike addition or subtraction, where you add to the number of decimal places, you don't need to do that one here at all. It's a different case scenario, totally. Just what you need to do is that you need to, first of all, look at the number of decimal places in the first number. The first number has 3 decimal places because of 1, 2, 3. And this has 2 places of decimal, 1, 2. 2 decimal places. What you do is that you add the 3 decimal places plus 2 decimal places. It will give you 5 decimal places. You can add decimal places together. It will give you 5 decimal places. Then after that, you now behave or act like a blind man, as if this point does not exist again. Now write out the number 32, 32, 4, 2, 3. Ignoring the point totally. 1, 6, 2. Also ignoring the point totally. Then multiply out normally. How do we do that? Very simple. 2 times 3 will give you 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 will give you 8. 2 times 2 is another 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Multiply with 6. 6 times 3 will give you 18. You keep 1. 6 times 2 will give you 12 plus 1, 13. You are still keeping 1. 6 times 4 is 24 plus 1 is 25. You are keeping 2 this time around. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 2 is 14. You are keeping 1. And 6 times 3 will give you 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. Write the whole 19. Multiply with 1. 1 times 3 will give you 3. 1 times 2 will give you 2. 1 times 4 will give you 4. 1 times 2 will give you 2. And 1 times 3 will give you 3. What do? Add all the 3 answers together. You have 6 here. 4 plus 8 is 12. You keep 1. Bring it here. 1 plus 8 is 9. And 9 plus 3 will give you 15. So you have 15 here. 5 here. And you bring your 1 here. 1 plus 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 5 will give you 10. And 10 plus 2 will give you 12. Bring 1 here. 1 plus 6 is 7. And 7 plus 4, 11. 11 plus 4, 15. You bring 1 here still. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. Bring 1 here. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 plus 3 will give you 5. Now, this is not your final answer. Before you get your final answer, what do you need to do? You now introduce, you must not forget this. Many of you forget, and you will not put decimal place here. Please always remember that you have a leftover here. 5 decimal places. you will take it to 5 decimal places. And how do you do that? At the back of every number, there is an invisible point. At the back of every number, 6, 67, there's a point here that you can move. It's invisible. So at the back of this number, there's a point. You move this invisible point, you make it visible, then you move it 5 places to the left hand side. 5 places. When you are introducing decimal numbers, you don't start from the front. You start from the left hand side, right hand side of the number, not from the left hand side. And then you move 5 places because you have 5 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your answer here, your final answer will be 52.52526. And that will be your final answer. So that will be your answer there. And then, very, very simple. So what you do is, you count the number of decimal places in the two numbers, add the two the decimal places together, and then multiply out normally, ignoring the point. Then introduce the sum of their decimal places counting from the right hand side backward. And then you introduce and get something like that. So if you have a number like 6 times 7.23, this number has 0 decimal places, and this one has 2 decimal places. So when you multiply out normally, ignoring the point, you introduce 2 decimal places in your answer to get the final answer. Now that will take us to division of decimal numbers. When you are dividing decimal numbers, you can also come in cases. In case 1 will be dividing decimal number with the powers of 10, and this is the easiest case. Dividing decimal number with the powers of 10. Powers of 10, you remember? 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, and so on and so forth. You have to divide this first example, 49.342 divided by 100. What do you do when you are dividing by powers of 100? It is direct opposite of what you do when you are multiplying with the powers of 10. What do you do? Again, when you are dividing by the powers of 10, is the direct opposite of what you do when you are multiplying with the powers of 10. Remember, when you are multiplying with the powers of 10, you move the decimal place to the right hand side to increase the number. So when you are dividing the powers of 10, you move the decimal point from the left to the left hand side, and the number will be reduced. You know, division will lead to reduction of the value of the number. Now, what do you have? If you have this, for instance, 49 divided by 100, you move this point to the left hand side 2 places because you have 2 zeros. 1, 2. Now the point is no longer here. You move the ball. You are carrying the ball. You are jumping. The ball is no longer here. It's with you here now. So the point is now here. And what you have is 0 point, because in the front of, you can't leave a vacuum in the front of a point. If there's no number there before, introduce a 0. Introduce a 0. And so what you have here would be, the answer for this would be 0.49342. Very, very simple. This second example is also very, very simple. You are dividing this by 100. Move the points 2 places to the left. 1, 2. Now in this case, there's still a 4 in front of the point, so you don't need to introduce any points, any 0. You do not need to introduce any 0. So your answer here will be 4.3239. This is quite very simple. I know many of you know this before. Then the second case, which is our key area, then if you have to divide this by 10, 469.3 divided by 10, you move the point 1 place because of only 1 0. Move the point 1 place, and your answer will be 46.93. Very simple. Dividing a decimal number by another decimal number, very simple. What you do is this: multiply both up and down. Your aim is to get rid of the decimal place, the decimal number at the denominator. The denominator is very, very, if you still have the decimal point at the denominator, you cannot move forward. So you multiply up and down by the number of decimal places at the denominator. Multiply up and down by the number of decimal places at the denominator. So in this place, you have 2 decimal places at the denominator. You multiply up and down by 100. You multiply up and down by 100. Multiply up and down by 100. In this place, you have 3 decimal places. You multiply up and down by 1,000. So what you have there is 6.3 939 multiplied by 100 all over 9.36 multiplied by 100. What do? You move the point, don't forget, to the right hand side. 1, 2, because you are multiplying. So you have 693.9 divided by, you move this point as well to the right hand side. 1, 2. So the point has eluded all the numbers. It's now at the back of it. It becomes an invisible point. So you have all over 936. Then to divide is now very easy for you. Remember, you go back to your test of factor, test of divisibility. The knowledge of your test of factor will help you here to divide any number, no matter how big they are. Look at this. This one is ending with 9 and this one is ending with 6. 2 cannot divide up and down. You are looking for the number that can divide both numerator and denominator. Now go to the test of factor for 3. The test of factor for 3 says that, remember, 3 can divide any number if the sum of all its digits is divisible by 3. The sum of all its digits must be divisible by 3. And so what does that mean? Add all the digits of this number together. 6 plus 9 will give you 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. And 18 plus 9 is 27. 3 can divide 27 perfectly. It will give you 9. And then add this one together in turn. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. 3 can also divide 18. So you use 3 to divide smartly and gradually. So 3 divided by 6, because 6 is bigger than 3, you can take 6 at a time. 6 divided by 3 will give you 2. 6 divided by 9 will give you 3. 9 divided by 3 will give you 3. 3 divided by 3 will give you 1. You have reached your point, you put your point. Then 9 divided by 3 will give you 3. Divide this one by 3 as well. 3 divided by 9. 9 divided by 3 will give you 3. 3 divided by 3 will give you 1. And 3 divided by 6 will give you 2. A very systematic way. Look at it again. What test of factor can you use here? You can still use 3. 2 plus 3 will give you 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. And 6 plus 1 is 9. And 9 can be divided by 3. And then when you add this all together, 3 plus 1 plus 2 will give you 6. And then 6 can be divided by 3. Don't forget that if no matter even if a number is a decimal number, it doesn't mean that the test of factor cannot apply. It can apply even to a decimal number. So what do you use here? Use 3 again to divide. If you use 3 again to divide this, what do you have? You have 2, because this 2 is smaller than 3. Use the old 23. Take 23 at a time. 23 divided by 3 will give you 7. That's 21. Remainder 2. 21 divided by 7 will give you 7 again. You have reached your point, put your point. And 3 divided by 3, there's no remainder from there. 3 divided by 3 will give you 1. Divided by what? 3 divided by 3 will give you 1. 1 divided by 3 is impossible. Impossible means you write 0. Then, that 1 that is impossible with, you transfer it to the front of 2. 12 divided by 3 will give you 4. So you have 104. If you add this together, then what can you do to divide this? What can you do to divide this? What can you do to divide this? And then you can divide this. This is 77.1. And you have here 104. 104. Don't be surprised. It is because the number up is smaller than the number down. The number up is smaller than the number at the denominator. So what do? There's no, because if you add this together, you have 5. If you add this together, so there's no, so you now have to make do by just going forward to divide, because there is no factor that is common to the two of them again. Now, 104 divided by 77, that is the whole number divided by the whole number that is down. 77 divided by 104 is impossible, because this is a case of a proper fraction. A smaller numerator over a bigger denominator. You are going to have your answer less than 1. Less than 1. Every proper fraction will give you answer less than 1. So 77 divided by 104 is impossible. Impossible means that you write 0. 0. And then since you have taken this 77, you have gotten to the point. So you put your point here in the answer as well. Now, 77 is impossible. That impossibility does not destroy that 77. The 77 will be carried over to 771. Now you have your 771 here divided by 104 again. You are using 104 to divide, don't forget. 771 divided by 104. How do you do that? Very simply. Go to the trick of repeated subtraction. Repeated subtraction, how do you do that? 771. Continue to subtract 104 till you get your answer. 104. Subtract it. The first subtraction will give you, you take 1 from here, you bring it here. 11 minus 4 will give you 7. This is remaining 6. 6 minus 0 will give you 6. And then this will give you 6. 6, 6, 7. Continue to subtract. Just continue to subtract. Another 104 here. You have 3. You have 6. And then you have 5. Another 104, subtract. Take 1 here. And then this one remains 5. You have 13 minus 4 will give you 9. 5 minus 0 is 5. And this is 4. Another 104. Subtract again. You have 5 here, 5, and 3. And then another 104. Subtract again, you have 1, you have 5, and then you have 2. Subtract again 104. You have, bring 1 here. 11 minus 4 will give you 7, 5, and 1. Then 104 again will give you, subtract to give you 3, 5, and 0. So what you have here now, 53, is not up to 104 again. So how many times did 104 go in 771? How many 104 did you get in 771? You go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you count the number 104 because you put your 7 in the answer. After that, what is remaining? The remaining 53. That 53. Is that because there's no other number that you would carry the 53 to here, because you have reached 1 here, 0 will fall down, a 0 will drop, and then you have 530 divided by 104. You continue again by repeated subtraction till you get an answer. When you get an answer, you write the answer down here. You write the answer down here. Then if there's a remainder, another 0 will drop at the back of it. You get your final answer. So, repeated subtraction is another method which you can get answer when division is a difficult. I believe you need to understand what we are trying to say. The case of rounding off decimal numbers correctly is a wide case that will differ till the next class. God bless you. Make sure you do your assignment and you do it by yourself. Make sure you follow the instruction that is written after the assignment. It will be posted to you. God bless you till we meet again. My dear friend, how are you? I welcome you to the Basic Science